Hi everyone, welcome back to Secure with Franca. In today's video, I'll be going to show you step by step on how to make sure your Kali Linux virtual machine and your Windows machines are actually communicating on the same network. If you are having struggle with ping issues or virtual machine connectivity, the guide is for you. So let's get started. So today, as I said, we are going to make sure that our operating systems are working and they can communicate with themselves without any form of interruption. So the first thing that you will need to do if you want to configure your system in such a way that there will be an internal communication between both of them, you can just go to your window, your virtual machine bus. If you're using a virtual machine bus, click on the file, go to your tools and go straight to network manager. So when you're a network manager, what will come up is this. You're going to see your virtual host only Ethernet adapter right here. I have my router set up, which I use, but today I'm not going to be using the router. I'm just going to make sure and reconfigure my network. So what I did was to go to click on the NAT network. Then you can create your network. You can create your IP address. Okay. And you have to give it a name. So I gave it a name right here. That's my middle name. Then this is the IP address I created. Okay, so you have to check and enable the DHCP. So once that's done, I already have my Linux running and my Windows running, and I will go straight right there. So this is my Linux and this is my Windows. So I want to see that the configuration I made in ensuring that my internet communicates within the operating system. So I will have to go to my terminal under my Linux and just put if config, okay? So I'm going to do if config, sorry about that. If config, this is just going to be a little hands-on experience today. So if config and enter. So it's going to show me that I have my IP address that I set, which is 192.168.104. Okay. If you look at the IP address, my setup on my virtual machine that I configured, you see I used this IP address 192.168.100.0. Okay, so it will start counting from there. So now I know that my colleague has 192.168.100, then 4. I'm going to check my Windows as well to see if it runs on the same network. So I come here to the window icon symbol here, then just type the CMD. It's going to populate your command prompt. Click on the command prompt and allow it to populate the terminal. Once you have the terminal populated, you just need to type in ipconfig and enter. So once I pull up and see that I have my IP config, it's going to give me the IP address, the subnet mask, and the default gateway. And you can see you have the IP address, which is IPv4 is 192.168.105, which tells you that both the two operating system runs on the same network. So there should be no issue with both of them communicating, right? Okay. So let's try if both of them are going to communicate. So I'll come right here and do ping. So I want to ping the IP address of my colleague to see if he's going to communicate. So I'm going to ping the 192, 168, 100. Then I have 4. So this is the IP address of my colleague. So I'm just going to hit enter and see if it's communicating. As you can see, there is a communication between the window and the colleague, but we are not sure if the colleague is able to communicate back to window. We are certain that Windows can communicate back to colleague. One thing that you must note is that sometimes you may have issues with Windows communicating to colleague and other operating system, and other operating system having issue in communicating to Windows. This is because of the firewall configuration or disable configuration for uh inbound pinging or inbound communication. So let's go to the colleague and see if it will be able to communicate with Windows. So we are still going to run the same command and put ping, then put 192.168 dot 105. You can see that the IP address of Windows is 192.168.100.5. So we're going to see if the communication will go through. Wow, you can see that the communication is going really, really true. There is no disruption in the communication. So we're going to stop the process because else it will just keep running and running. So this is to show you that we have our two operating system communicating with themselves without any form of obstruction. Because you may know, you may have difficulty in having this communication come true for you. And as a result, I want to reconfigure my Windows so that once the Windows is reconfigured, then we will now decide and see how we can ensure that our ICMP ping request is allowed through the firewall. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to temporarily disable the firewall for testing. Okay, so let's go. So I'm going to close this. We already see that it's working. Just in case you are having issue with that, so I'm going to close this. Then let me disconfigure. For understanding, I went in to change my IP address. Previously, we have the 192.168.100.0/24. And my name on that one was a different name. But right now, I've gone to change it to Franca A, and I've changed the IP address to 192.168.10/24. And I did told you how I did it. You just click on the file, click right here on the tools, go to network management, click on the NAT network, and then click create. Once you click create, you put a name, you put an IP address, and you check the enable DHCP protocol. So now I have that running, and I have my Windows running with the Kali Linux running side by side, but I have not yet configured the new IP address. So if I try to put in if config, you're going to see what's going to come up. You can see that there is no IP address here at all. Nothing is showing because I haven't put in the new IP address. I just configured. Then if I go right here in the command prompt, let me check for the IP address right here. So I'm just going to, sorry, I'm going to go to IP config so I can see my IP config to see the IP address. You can see that there is no IP address. What we have here is auto configuration IP address. This IP address is automatically configured. Whenever there is no IP address on the system, Windows assign an IP address. So this is the one that Windows assign. As you can see, there is no default gateway, meaning that there cannot be communication because there is no default gateway. So how do we reset this to ensure that the IP address I just created works effectively? So what I'm going to do, I will go to the machine right here under the Windows operating system. So once I'm here, I will go to settings. So once I am the settings, I will have to go to network. When you click on network, you see right here, it shows you Franca A, but there is no IP address. It shows you NAT network. So I'll click right here and I have the, no, sorry, I'll click right here, NAT network, then I'll go right here. I will choose this. I have to choose it. Then I have to put OK. You have to put OK. Then I'll come to the Windows as well, click on the machine, go to my settings, because right now there's no IP address working on this. Go to settings. Once I have the settings, click on the network. I have Franca and I have to click OK because that's what I want to run. So let's see if it's going to come up or if I will need to refresh the system. So if config and I put in, you see my IP address has changed. You see the 192.168.1.5. So it has generated an IP address for me because I have reconfigured this from the platform. Then, so let's go to the command line on the Windows and see if that's going to work, come up for us. So it's just a little hands-on experience. And then we put in IP config for this to see if we're going to have it generated. You see, we have our IPv4 address 192.168.1.4. So let's see if we are able to ping, being that this is a new configuration. Let me ping the 192.168. Then I have 1, then 5, which is the Carlic Linux address. Let's see if it's going to work. So it's working. You see, communication is ongoing. Windows are communicating, but let's see if if a Carlic will be able to communicate with Windows because by default, Windows have the Windows Fireworks blocks and output input IC input ping. So let's see if it's going to communicate. So we go to ping. Now ping, we're going to ping the new IP address 1. Then the IP address is 4, right? Yes, it's 4. So let's see if you'll be able to communicate. Yeah, it's communicating. So both of them can communicate with themselves. Both of them can communicate with themselves. So I'm just going to terminate this process. Now that I am sure that both operating systems can communicate without obstruction. Just in case you're having issue in ensuring that this communication doesn't go through, check for your IP address. If the IP address on the system is having issue, reconfigure a new IP address. Or if that is not giving you the response, go to your Windows and see if it was blocked. So how do you do that? Just click, because we're using a virtual machine, I will click on input, then go to the keyboard. Then I'm just going to pull up soft keyboard, right? Once I pull up the soft keyboard, I'm going to click here. This one here stands as the Windows icon that you normally see on your um device, your laptop, but this is a virtual laptop. So you click here and you click on it's going to bring up this. Type in the wf.mcsc, then you click OK. So once you click OK, it's going to bring you to the Windows Defense Fireworks with Advanced Security. Okay. To ensure that this is working, if it's not working, what you need to do, if there's no communication, like it's not communicating, you go to your inbound rule. Once you go to your inbound rule, go down and scroll to file print sharing. So once you go to file print sharing, look at it right here. Let me bring it out there. So it's file. So look at it right here. So once you click on this, you see right here, it said file and printing sharing echo request ICNPv4 in. So Once you click here, you're going to see if it's not communicating, if it's blocked. Right here is going to show you disable. Okay. Once you're seeing disable, beware assured that wherever communication is coming from any operating system, it's not going to be reaching to Windows operating system because the root is disabled. So you will need to click enable to have this incoming go through for you. And you can see also this is disabled, this is private, right? So, but this is domain. So I'm using domain and it's enabled right here, right? So once it's enabled, you just know that okay, it can work. In a situation where you are not getting a ping response from another operating system, in is uh when a communication is coming from operating system, but it's not being allowed, meaning it's not allowed in. So you need to enable that. But if, for example, you are not allowed out, meaning that the Windows cannot communicate with another operating system, you just need to click on the add band rule. Once you click on the add band rule, you go straight again to file sharing. Once you're on file sharing, click on it and see if it's enabled. If it is disabled, you just need to click enable so you can allow communication between the two. Another thing that is also helpful is that you can always create a new outbound rule. Just in case you want to create a new outbound rule, you can click on new. Once you click on new, you click on, if you want to customize, you click on customize and it will take you step by step. I don't want to do that because I don't want to create a new outbound rule. So I'm going to be closing this. Sorry, I'm not going to be shutting down. I just want to close this. Okay, so I'm going to close that a soft computer. So we're going to check again see if it's working because sometimes we do some configuration and you don't know that the configuration you did is actually stored in the system. So let me ensure that my two operating systems are working very well. So I just need to ping again. Okay, so it can ping and let me go to the other one, which is Kalik and see if the yeah, so it's pinging. So this is how you can ensure that your communication between two operating systems is effectively and appropriately configured. Uh, if you like this video and it's helpful to you, please subscribe to the channel. And if there's anything that you want me to bring across your way, please just send me a mail or reach out to me, and I will bring it out to your way. This information is very, very important because now that we have established that our two systems, the operating system and of Windows and the operating system of Kalik is communicating very well. It will help us to establish some other protocol and also help us to carry out some activity within the system without having issue with that. Okay, and that will be all for now. And thank you, and hope you subscribe to this channel. Bye.